It's 8 p.m. and here are our top stories in 90 seconds. Heavy rain across the Front Range, with some areas seeing several inches in under an hour. Waters rising in Greeley this afternoon, where police reported significant flooding near downtown. And the entire Denver metro is under a flash flood watch tonight. We're tracking that and more on this Weather Action Day.
The whole nation is mourning with these families. They see it every day on television. They're going through hell. And those who survived the collapse, as well as those who are missing loved ones.
President Biden paying a visit to Surfside, Florida, to meet with families of the victims in the deadly condo collapse. The search continues tonight after crews were forced to stop for several hours when engineers feared parts of the still standing building could collapse.
Weight builds up as you come down the tower. So those columns on the first floor are essentially supporting the entire tower.
Plus, a Colorado Army veteran making sure each and every one of his neighbors are ready for the 4th of July.
People do fly the flag on special occasions, and that way if they have a flag available, they tend to do it.
And the retirement community he lives in also doing their part to honor our nation's soldiers.
I feel, honored to be able to have the flags here, and it's each services.
We start off on this Weather Action Day with the heavy rains across most of the Front Range. Some areas reporting several inches this afternoon, others experiencing flash floods. Let's get right over to meteorologist Stacey Donaldson. And Stacey, there's a flash flood watch from Wyoming all the way down to southern Colorado.
That's right. It covers a lot of acreage here across Colorado through the central part of the state. It's in effect until midnight tonight, so we still have the potential for flooding in through this evening. Most of the heavy thunderstorm activity is now down farther to our south, but as you see here from Denver up to Fort Collins, we still have this flash flood watch. Now here's where the radar is showing us these strong thunderstorms stretch from the northern border of Colorado all the way down toward Colorado Springs. Here in Denver, not much happening at this point, but Greeley finally drying out. Strong thunderstorms moving toward New Raymer and Fort Morgan. A lot of lightning associated with these storms, along with very heavy rainfall. And pretty much the same thing farther to our south here from Colorado Springs to Pueblo. Earlier, just east of Pueblo, we had a tornado warning earlier this afternoon. Now it's all about the flash flooding. We have warnings and watches down this way as well, and it stretches all the way south toward Trinidad. So a lot still going on this evening. As we head through the rest of tonight, we still have a chance for strong thunderstorms, mostly to our east and south, but we'll have clearing as we get past midnight. We'll talk more about our holiday forecast coming up a little later.
Thank you, Stacey. Greeley had some of the worst flooding this afternoon after several inches of rain fell in less than an hour. That's where Denver7's Addie Guajardo joins us live now. Addie, earlier today you were standing in knee-deep floodwater. Has this dried out?
Jessica, it sure has. Earlier today, there was lots of water covering countless streets. Now that's all dried up. Now this rain came down with so much power and so quickly, it left a mess behind. Here at City Center North, water flooded the inside of the building. Right now, crews are assessing the damage and cleaning up the inside. A city spokesperson tells me the rain just came down so quickly, the drains couldn't handle it.
Cleanup is underway across downtown Greeley after heavy rain flooded streets and buildings.
You know, Mother Nature comes with a fury, and she did today.
City crews worked quickly to clear out drains and clean up City Center North and other buildings impacted by the rain.
A lot of our city complexes experienced some significant rainfall in a rapid amount of time, and we got anywhere from 1 to a few inches of rain in some of our buildings.
Several USPS employees parked off 10th Street and 12th Avenue came back to flooded cars.
I've never seen it downpour like this before.
Only a little water made it inside Cordilla Gonzalez's SUV.
It starts. That's a good thing.
But not everyone got so lucky. The flash flood flooded Darusha's car, damaging the inside. As the water dries up, residents impacted are assessing the damage and the cost Mother Nature brought down.
Now, I did see USPS workers empty out those 5 mailboxes behind me. The letters inside were completely soaked. As for City Center North, it's going to be closed until the city announces that it's going to open, and that's because that cleanup process is going to take some time. Reporting live in Greeley, Addie Guardo, Denver 7 on Local 3.
Ugh, what a muddy mess. Thank you, Addie. And here's a closer look at why flash flooding is so devastating. Take Fisher Peak State Park near Trinidad, for example. During just 2 days of rain back in May, trails and gravel roads were turned into rivers. The flooding even washed away the park's parking lot. Trinidad Lake rose 11 feet in just 36 hours because of all the rain, and the wetlands and ponds were overcome with silt carried by the flood water. A representative from FEMA tells our Denver 7 digital team flood risks in burn scar areas will remain higher until vegetation is restored. You can hear more from her right now on the denverchannel.com. A geologist also weighs in. You can take a deeper look at the science right now online. President Biden meeting with first responders today in Florida. They're working desperately to find more survivors of the building collapse near Miami Beach. Rescue efforts are underway once again after being paused due to safety concerns at the site. ABC's Morgan Norwood has the latest.
After pausing for most of the day, the desperate rescue effort back on. Engineers had previously feared parts of the building that are still standing could collapse.
Concern assessors included 6 to 12 inches of movement in a large column hanging from the structure that could fall and cause damage to the support columns.
The temporary stop as President Joe Biden visited with first responders.
What you're doing now is just hard as hell to deal with, even psychologically, to deal with it. And I just wanted to say thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
And at the site, more victims were identified.
It is also with great sorrow, real pain, that I have to share with you that 2 of these were children, aged 4 and 10.
Those 2 children, Lucia Gara and her younger sister Emma, their father and mother also died. President Biden also meeting with families grieving the devastating loss.
The whole nation is mourning with these families. They're praying and pleading that God, let there be a miracle.
Investigators from the National Institute of Standards and Technology starting their review into what caused the collapse. This video shot by Adriana Sarmiento just 7 minutes before the collapse, capturing water gushing into the garage below the building, as well as debris on the ground.
Weight builds up as you come down the tower. So those columns on the first floor are essentially supporting the entire tower.
Biden meeting with those grieving families, saying today that they understand that the survival chances diminish each day, but at a minimum, they'd like the opportunity to recover the bodies of their loved ones. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Miami Beach, Florida.
Morgan, thank you. Old Town Arvada is restarting its Thursday Night Bites program tonight, 11 days after an officer was ambushed there. Business owners called today a day for giving back and community togetherness. Many businesses are hosting fundraisers or offering specials. A large portion of the profits will go to victims' families.
We've felt the presence and safety from the police, and for those years they've been here in a matter of seconds, and we really felt that from them. And I think the whole community, the staff, we really want to give back and show them how much we feel for them at this moment.
The party has already started, but there is live music and other events happening all night long. You can also buy a pass for samples at several Old Town restaurants. The pandemic is not over. That's the message from the U.S. Surgeon General after new numbers show the concerning Delta variant is continuing to spread across the U.S. Just this week, we saw a 10% increase in new COVID cases nationwide. The virus is detected in every U.S. state. Federal health leaders say this variant now accounts for 1 in 4 coronavirus cases in the U.S., and here in Colorado, it makes up 50% of all COVID cases. Now some are questioning whether states should revisit mask mandates. As of now, Colorado isn't changing its mask policy. In fact, just today, the state removed its mask mandate for schools in the DMV. But doctors say for those who aren't vaccinated, including young Coloradans, protect yourself.
I would say right now, if your kids are old enough to wear masks, then they should when they're indoors, at least until we can get our arms around this Delta variant.
Dr. Hotez says the current CDC guidance needs to be more specific with the Delta variant in mind. Right now, the guidance says fully vaccinated people don't need to wear a mask indoors or outdoors.
I was shocked that she would accept something from Speaker Pelosi.
Coming up at 8, Speaker Nancy Pelosi announcing her picks for the House's January 6th committee. But a big surprise when she asks a Republican to join, and she accepts. Plus, former President Trump's namesake company indicted after a 2-year investigation. Hear about the charges the Trump organization is facing.
They have been receiving quite a few complaints about warranties. There's something going on there.
And Colorado customers are fed up and frustrated, saying they can't get Sears to honor its warranties. Now they're asking Contact Denver7 for help, and we're getting them answers.
They very gladly took my $800, but then when I need service, look, they haven't honored the agreement.